Hello, everybody. I'm a couple minutes late, but here we are doing the live. So, I wanted to come on today and talk about physical performance for speakers, specifically speaker choreography. And I wanted to do this because I had a really lovely conversation with my mentor and sales coach, Natalie Bullen, and the other members of the Siren Sales Academy who are other entrepreneurs who are joining. Natalie, thank you, Angel, for helping with my live stream. My dog. Spending a year developing our businesses and achieving our goals, and we had a really wonderful conversation. So the gist is this: last Wednesday, I went into a meeting with them and was asked by Natalie why my website and my marketing and my professional presentation is like 25%, is only a percentage of what I actually am and who I am and what I do, and how the work I do when I'm coaching is informed by my entire history, but I have not been really presenting that and marketing it and telling people about it. And the reason why is because couple of reasons. One, I'm a strong cup of coffee, and my first reaction was, "Well, I'm not for everybody." And the response I got, which is exactly the right response, is, "Not everybody's your client." So, there was another reason, which is that my history in Middle Eastern dance actually has it's very easily misunderstood, and that's something I've been frustrated by. So what I decided to do was come on and explain a little bit about that and how it impacts my work and how I use it so that I can be upfront about it. Now, this ties into my work, and I'm going to move my notes over because I actually took notes for the first time instead of doing a live stream off the top of my head here. And so here, what I want to explain is that my entire history impacts what I'm doing. So I started out in occupational therapy. I learned task analysis. I worked, I learned neuroanatomy. I learned how brain chemistry and the structures and everything that impacts performance. So that impacts my work. I was in instructional design, creating courses, structuring content, being able to put things in a way that makes sense to different audiences. That informs my work. I have an art background. And that informs my work because I can say, okay, let's talk about the visuals that you're using in your presentation or speech. But the biggest aspect is my background in dance. For 25 years, I was a member, and I am a proud former member of Desert Moon Dancers of Connecticut, which is a Near and Middle Eastern dance troupe. And I have made family from that group. They are closer to me than I can say, and I am privileged to have known them. What we now all do as friends, even though we don't see each other every weekend anymore, is we're all still in that world and aware of what that brings to us at work. Now, American Middle Eastern dance runs a gamut. And on one end of the spectrum are the people who are fulfilling their inner goddess. And the other end of the spectrum are scientists who are doing sociology and are looking at the actual structures and the mechanics of it. And my group's more on this side than on this side, but we're friends with everybody. So it's a big, messy family, and it's easily misunderstood. So one of the ways it was misunderstood is I'd have people say, "Oh, you're an exotic dancer." No, that's stripping. And that's perfectly valid, but that's not what I'm doing. My favorite one, which is the one that became legendary in our troupe, is we'd been together about 10 years. We're in this little hole in the wall theater somewhere in Connecticut. And we were doing a whole show with a break, like costume changes, the whole 9 yards set. I mean, like we were doing it all. And Nancy, our troupe director's husband, was our MC, and he's up on stage introducing us. And we are all from different backgrounds. We're all of different sizes. So some people are really thin, some people are not. We have a nuclear engineer, we have a couple of instructional designers, a banker, like we've got a mixed crew. But everybody was trained by Nancy, who's been trained by some of the best in the field. And we've actually had the privilege of working with people who are famous in the art form. So I was really angry when Rick told me that he went outside for a smoke and there was a woman with blue hair, your classic Connecticut grande dame with more money than self awareness, who was having a cigarette and saying, "Oh, well, they dance so well for such large women." And that became kind of one of the things that is a stereotype of how people react. So, I haven't been upfront about the fact that my work is strongly influenced by Middle Eastern dance because it got really frustrating explaining to people that my specialty was in Egyptian folk and theatrical dance, and I trained on it for decades. But because the picture is a bra and band and happy birthday on your stomach and a really skinny girl, which is exactly accurate, that's totally true too, it became something I hesitated to mention, and I am following in thank you, Angel, so much. I'm following in Natalie's advice and her footsteps and being completely upfront because what I did matters in my work. My work right now is on presenting and speaking, and it's on moving people to their next stage, get achieving their goals, being able to get to wherever they need to be. And because of that, I'm using my entire history, not only restructuring maybe speeches or, how you're going ahead and doing your performance. And that includes the physical space of your performance. How are you standing? How are you expressing? What are you doing with your hands? Are you actually doing something that is going to bring people in? It's not just a verbal performance. It's not just a written performance. It is also a physical performance. And because of that, I actually do choreography with some of my speaking clients, not all of them. Some I help restructure their work, or some we talk about how to better engage the audience or how to use Zoom your best way. But my TEDx, I did a choreography for, and that was me telling a story, but I had practiced what the gestures would be and how I would physically represent my speech. And I did that. I practiced it for like 2 months, and then I went up there and I freed I just winged it because I wanted to be completely free in the moment, but I had the background of, okay, when I'm talking about opening a laptop, I'm gonna do this gesture. So I'm coming on today because being fully yourself is really, really important when you are the product. And until last Wednesday, I kind of was under I was kidding myself. I was doing 25% of the Kirsten, not 100%. I wasn't bringing in the art, I wasn't bringing in the dance, I wasn't bringing in the occupational therapy along with the instructional design, along with the technical training. All of that is part of my work, and it all adds to what I do. And because of that, I'm gonna be shifting my marketing and adjusting my website and some of my things. At the end of the month, my team is gonna meet and we're gonna tweak stuff because Natalie and the sales sirens are right. It's really important to be completely yourself when you're the product. And I didn't think I was hiding because I'm kind of a loud person. I was like, no, I'm not hiding, but I really was. So this is me telling you, hi, I'm Kirsten. I was a Middle Eastern dancer for 25 years. I created illuminated manuscripts in the SCA. I've taught in 12 different countries. I have a broad history, and all of it relates to how I help people who have to speak or people who are professional speakers achieve their goals. That's it. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.